flow for y'all, cause you know we
we can rap.
we can flow so well. You know, we're gonna put out Destiny's Child album, Rapology. You know.
Yeah, I can challenge JayZ.
Yeah.
Like, that boy's got too much skill.
Y'all, the tea is scorching hot today. Word on the street is that Solange allegedly snapped on JayZ after some newly resurfaced footage started making the rounds online, and fans are absolutely losing it. According to social media detectives, the video appears to show JayZ and Kelly Rowland looking a little too comfortable, and folks are saying Solange was not here for it. But that's not even the wildest part. People have now started pointing out that Kelly's son, Titan, bears a striking resemblance to JayZ, and the internet is running with the theory that this footage somehow confirms long-standing rumors that Titan could be JayZ's secret son. Chilly, the streets are talking. And let's rewind for a second. Remember that infamous elevator incident? Well, insiders are now claiming that the real reason Solange allegedly went off on JayZ that night had everything to do with Kelly. If that's true, it suddenly puts that whole moment in a completely different light. Fans are also revisiting old rumors about Kelly's supposed jealousy toward Beyoncé, and some are saying this situation is starting to make a lot more sense. Was there really a rivalry behind the scenes all these years? And could that tension have fueled everything we're seeing unfold now? Some people are even asking the unthinkable: did Kelly allegedly cross a line with JayZ as some twisted form of payback toward Beyoncé? Now, don't get it twisted, Kelly and Beyoncé have always been known as sisters. But if this theory holds any weight, it would mean Kelly was the real-life Jolene Beyoncé was warning about, and phew, that was not on anyone's bingo card. What makes this even messier is that folks believe this all might have stayed buried if a fashion designer named Oscar Lopez hadn't allegedly started talking a few days ago, reopening old wounds and setting social media on fire all over again. So now the big questions are, what's really going on between JayZ and Kelly? Why did Solange allegedly snap? And is there more to this Destiny's Child history than we've ever been told? Because one thing's for sure, if these hints were right in front of us all along, the truth might be messier than anyone imagined.
News about the scandal of the elevator with Beyoncé and JayZ, because it was so funny because she was late to the red carpet, so she couldn't take pictures, and then the scandal breaks out. It was like, I mean, and it was something like so silly, like because people say that, remember that Rachel Roy was married to Diamond, that they used to work together with JayZ, and I think that JayZ complimented her about the gown, and Beyonce's sister felt that it was not proper, so it was a kind of a drama there, and the dress was all over the news. That was so fun.
Now, before anyone brings up Rachel Roy, let's address that real quick, because yes, for years people have speculated that she was the infamous Becky with the good hair Beyoncé sang about. And I'm not saying nothing ever went down between JayZ and Rachel. We've all heard those long-standing rumors about him allegedly being involved with multiple women, and considering Rachel was Damon Dash's girl at the time, well, you know the vibes. For a long time, Solange herself reportedly believed Rachel was the woman involved the night of that infamous elevator incident. That theory stuck for years, until recently. According to an insider, after Oscar's recent interview, something finally clicked for Solange. She allegedly went back, did the math, and y'all, the math was mateing. And supposedly, she came to the realization that the woman in question wasn't Rachel at all, it was Kelly Rowland. Now, be serious for a second. If this is true, it would explain a lot. Rumors about JayZ and Kelly allegedly being a little too close have floated around for years, but they were always shut down out of respect for Beyoncé and the Destiny's Child sisterhood. Most people dismissed them entirely, and understandably so. But now? Folks are saying we might have been too quick to write those rumors off. Because when you really start looking at things, especially the striking resemblance between JayZ and Kelly's son, Titan, it becomes harder for some people to ignore. I'm not saying anything is confirmed, but the similarities are definitely enough to have the internet putting on their investigative hats. So the question is, was the truth hiding in plain sight all along? And did Solange finally connect the dots after all these years? Because if so, phew. That elevator incident might make a whole lot more sense now.
You're the stage mother who pushes her daughter, dresses her better than anybody else. The typical stage mother who's there all of the time, interfering, meddling.
I hear the comment all the time, God, you are nothing like I heard you. But Beyoncé.
Now let's talk timeline, because context is everything. Kelly and her husband, Tim Witherspoon, got married in 2014, and that same year, they welcomed their first child, Titan. And y'all know what else happened in 2014? That's right, Solange went absolutely ballistic on JayZ in that infamous elevator. According to a newly resurfaced insider account, Solange had already been feeling like something wasn't right. She allegedly had her suspicions, but claims are now being made that JayZ and Kelly gaslit her so badly that she started questioning her own instincts. Solange reportedly couldn't even believe she was thinking that Kelly, someone Beyoncé considered family, would ever betray her like that. As usual, the Carters allegedly tried to get ahead of the narrative by releasing a statement insisting that everything was fine and that they were all just one big, happy family. But clearly, that didn't sit right with Beyoncé. Because just 2 years later, Beyoncé dropped Lemonade, and that album did not hold back. She aired out JayZ's alleged infidelities, the pain, the betrayal, and years of rumors that had followed him around. Rumors that claimed JayZ had a pattern, including whispers that he allegedly kept a rotation of side women on payroll in different cities. You know. Rapper teams. And if you think Solange wasn't already on edge, here's where it gets even crazier. A few years ago, whispers started circulating that Solange allegedly caught JayZ trying to slip his number to a woman at a restaurant. That woman was later identified as rapper model Liv. When Liv eventually came forward and told her story, what she described was absolutely wild, and only added more fuel to the long-standing narrative that JayZ had been moving reckless for years. So when you put all of this together, the timing, the elevator incident, Lemonade, the repeated rumors, and the resurfaced allegations, people are now wondering if Solange didn't just snap out of nowhere, but snapped because she finally had enough. And if that's the case? That elevator fight starts looking a lot less random, and a lot more calculated. Liv said, Solange came walking up out of nowhere. I thought I was going to get my butt whipped, so I backed off quickly. She has been guarding her sister's property since day one. B doesn't even have to say anything. Solange is a beast. I can't believe I dodged the woman from Solange that day. She was the big reason why I left him alone. She gave me the look of death. Very scary. And if that wasn't shady enough, model Liv later dropped a song titled, Sorry, Mrs. Carter, and phew, the lyrics had people side-eyeing heavy. A lot of listeners felt like she was straight up apologizing to Beyoncé for allegedly hooking up with JayZ. Nothing was ever confirmed, but the message didn't exactly feel subtle either. Now let's circle back to Miss Kelly Rowland, because this is where the rumors get even messier. Word on the street is that Kelly allegedly started dealing with JayZ as a form of payback toward Beyoncé, driven by long-standing jealousy that had been brewing since the early Destiny's Child days. And to understand why people think that, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. Before the fame, Destiny's Child was struggling. They entered competition after competition and kept losing. At one point, they even lost their first record deal because sales weren't moving fast enough. Things didn't start turning around until Beyoncé's father, Matthew Knowles, stepped in as their manager. Once Matthew took control, he secured the group's deal with Columbia Records, and that's when everything finally took off. Under his strict management style, the girls were pushed hard, sharpening their skills, tightening their performances, and growing into polished artists. And Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles, was just as hands-on. She helped shape their image from the ground up, styling their hair, coordinating their looks, and even hand-making performance outfits herself. The Knowles family was fully invested in Destiny's Child's success.
Up about your insecurities about your singing voice. You even stated that you knew you weren't the vocal favorite of Destiny's Child. Is that something that, what made you second guess?
You know what, it's not that I was second guessing, I'm just aware. You know, some people are like, oh my gosh, it's stuck. They said it stuck with her. No, it didn't stick with me. You know, just sometimes you're aware that you're not everybody's favorite. And that's okay, I still got paid.
Okay. Let them know.
I hear that. I'm just saying, I'm aware.
Now, Kelly.
But Beyoncé's parents being so deeply involved in Destiny's Child didn't sit well with everyone, especially Kelly, according to long-standing rumors. Allegedly, Kelly felt the brunt of it. Insiders have claimed that Matthew Knowles treated her differently, with some even alleging that colorism played a role. Rumors have circulated for years that Kelly, who was darker-skinned than Beyoncé, was unfairly targeted, from having her creative ideas allegedly taken and repackaged as Beyoncé's, to being styled in less glamorous outfits while Beyoncé consistently took center stage. People also claim that Kelly was frequently pushed to the back, literally and figuratively, while Beyoncé was positioned as the clear standout of the group. It reportedly got so bad that industry insiders, including Brandy, allegedly encouraged Kelly to leave Destiny's Child altogether so she could grow and shine as an artist on her own. Now, to be fair, the girls were young at the time, and Beyoncé didn't have control over her father's decisions. But they were old enough to see that things weren't equal, and that imbalance didn't go unnoticed. According to some accounts, Beyoncé allegedly leaned into her father's favoritism rather than pushing back against it, making it clear who was being groomed as the star of the group. And if that's true, it may have deepened the resentment Kelly was already feeling. And when you look at everything through that lens, the favoritism, the power dynamics, and years of quiet tension, people believe it helps explain why these rumors